saving.
Welcome back. I have with me now Bridget Gavigan, and she is the owner of Gavigan Investment Services. We have to do that. You are a financial advisor. That's the stuff that we have to do now with compliance and everything. Welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what we're going to talk about today. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for having me on the show today, Carol. As you mentioned, my name is Bridget Gavigan. I'm Gavigan Investment Services. Proudly, I am an independent investment planner with LPL Financial and a financial advisor with PFG Advisors. I specialize in providing financial services and financial planning to individuals and preparing investment strategies that are unique and tailored to their needs.
Now, you told me before here that you have offices, that you came on here, that you have offices valley-wide.
Yes.
Okay. And your phone number to call her is 602-430-4980. Let's share a little bit about how you work with your clients, because it's very important. You have a relationship-based business, so they need to hear about you a little bit. Go ahead.
Yes, certainly. My focus is always first on getting a true understanding of where my clients are and what they've already achieved. I need to know what their goals, their preferences, their past experiences. From this, I'm able to build a plan, an investment strategy that is unique to them and their individual long-term needs. This is extremely important, as the majority of my clients are near or new to retirement. This is a time that can be, it can be very scary. And so, having that financial plan, knowing what their abilities are, understanding what they can do, and having that guidance of a financial advisor can really give them that comfort level that they need and the confidence to go into retirement strong.
Right. Well, when you work with someone, do you do a consultation with them? How does it work? Is it a free consultation? How do you do that?
Sure. And in some cases, yes, it can be just, an initial consultation. I pride myself on financial planning, and that process it's a three-part process. In my first meeting, it's a lot of data gathering and like I said, really getting to understand that individual. And then in my second meeting, after I've taken all that information, I put that into my financial planning software, and together I sit down with my client and we review that data. We fine-tune their plan, if you will. And then in the third meeting, we go over the plan and we discuss, if any changes needed to be made, if there's steps that they need to do, we discuss what those steps are and begin the implementation of that.
Okay, so now here's the phone number to call her direct. It's 602-430-4980. She has offices valley-wide, and you can check them out there at 602-430-4980. So we hear the term financial plan or retirement plan often. Okay, can you explain what exactly a financial plan is and why it's beneficial to have one?
Certainly.
Listen up, everybody, because a lot of people don't do it.
Yes.
And you got to do it.
Yes. Financial plan or retirement plan, it's an analysis of a person's or family's current and future expected savings. Their investments, their assets, minus the things they need to spend to support their expected living expenses, any future purchases, any additional spending goals that they may have. The software that I use will then focus also on life expectancy, cost of living increases, taxes. Most people come to me and they've almost always forgotten that they're still going to have taxes in retirement. And so once I've gathered all that information, I use a simulation called a Monte Carlo simulation. And this simulation will apply hundreds of sequences of random returns over that period of time. And that can help me understand, what is their statistical success rate. And so after that, I can establish if somebody, I might find that they are perfectly on pace to have a beautiful retirement and I high five them. Mm-hmm. But in most cases, I do find that there is a variable of error in there. and sometimes it's just a small variable, sometimes it's a large variable. But finding that out as early on as we possibly can is really the best. And so, we can take those steps then to make changes and fix that for them.
She has offices valley-wide. Her phone number direct at 602-430-4980. She does consultations with people. And, the earlier you do this, the quicker you do it, the better it is. It gives you peace of mind as well. Again, it's 602-430-4980. So what types of solutions can you offer someone?
Yeah, sure. So, when we go through the financial planning process and we find that there is a variable of error, with that, we'll kind of evaluate each of the determining factors individually. So first, we might look at, well, when does this individual intend to retire? And, maybe we can delay that by just a year or two. Just that pause right there. Not only does that, kind of stay off when we're going to start making withdrawals from the retirement account, it gives you an extra year to put, some additional savings in there. So that might be one thing we look at. That's usually the first one that people go, oh, no, I'm not really interested in doing that. Mm-hmm. So then the second thing that we might look at is, how much are you currently saving? And do you have the ability to step that up a little bit? And maybe we can work through some budgeting together to help you find areas where you could make some additional savings available. And then we can also look at, what are your spending expectations in retirement? Do we have room to downsize a little bit? This can mean something as simple as going, planning on a $30,000 car every, 7 years to maybe we look at a $25,000 car every 8 to 10 years. Okay. And then lastly, we'll look at how they're currently invested. Are they invested in a way that meets their goals and their needs? A lot of times I'll find that, people will set their investments and kind of forget about it. And this might be something that they did when they were in their, late 20s, early 30s, and here they are in their 50s now, and they're still invested that same way. And they didn't know why they did it then. They certainly don't know why they, are that way now.
So your client is usually how old?
My client is generally age, I would say age 40 to 60 is my average client.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
It's a pretty big age range.
Well, no, because a lot of people think of retirement planning as being an older thing to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that you said it, and I asked you for a reason, because I want people out there to start thinking about it early. And I think that's where the savings part comes in, because a lot of us, we don't do that. Yeah. So we don't have the money that we think, and then we get to that point where it's retirement time, and boy, oh boy, we're really shocked as what we have to do, and then we end up having to work for the rest of our lives, right?
Yes, I do hear often, well, I haven't started yet, but I will, right. And so, so it does kind of get delayed.
So you do help people with that. And again, she has offices valley-wide. You can call her direct. She does consultations. The phone number is 602-430-4980. I'm not sure if we can get to the next one completely, but for those that are on track, if they're on track, what can you offer them?
Absolutely. I really respect that my clients work hard to get what they are, and they worked hard to save us money. They had to get up every day and go to work to make it happen. And so it's my responsibility to always make recommendations that are in line with their abilities and their best interest. And once you know, or once I know what their needs are, I'm able to structure a portfolio to complement their goals.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this a little bit further and what you can do for people. Go ahead and check her out. She does consultations. I don't know how hour-long consultations or whatever. You can call her at 602-430-4980. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. We're talking with Bridget Gavigan, and she's the owner of Gavigan Investment Services. When we were at the break, we've been able to get out a lot of the information about you and all of this. There's a lot of things to come up with. One of the things that we want to do is we're going to enter everybody in to win a financial plan from you.
Yes.
Okay? And so we want everybody to call in here. There's a dollar amount to that, and I want you to tell everybody what it is. It's $750. It's crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Every financial advisor is little different in what they charge and what they provide with financial planning services. As I mentioned, my financial planning process is a 3-part process, and I do charge $750 for that financial plan. That covers the entire planning process.
Okay.
Now, for as my gratitude for being on the show today, which I really appreciate, and thank you so much for having me here. I will offer anybody that mentions the show a $250 discount off of that financial plan. So it's $500 for your listeners.
Okay.
And then, yes, I would also like to give away a free financial plan.
So here's what we're doing. We've got our lines open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. If you win, you're getting a $750 value free to you. It's a financial plan from a financial advisor. Also, if you don't, and you're going to get $250 off, so it's going to be a $500 one instead. Yeah. But right now, we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win the financial plan at $750 value free to you or anyone you know. And boy, oh boy, if you haven't done it, if you're in your 40s and you're not even thinking about it, call in now, 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I want to talk about you and how you work with your clients too, so go ahead.
Sure. Every client that I meet with is unique. They all have a different past experience. They all have different expectations. They all have different needs and goals. Not all investments and not all investment platforms are right for all clients. I am not a believer in a one-size-fits-all platform or model. And so for that reason, I offer fee-based advisory services as well as brokerage services, annuities and insurance. My philosophy is that every client should be presented with all options, and it should be explained to them what the benefits, the pros and the cons of each of those different options is. Small changes, may very early on, as we've said, the sooner you can do the financial plan, the better it is for you. That will really give us the opportunity to make a big impact in the long term. So, yeah.
Well, okay, see, I'm going, it's first time on. So now again, we've got the lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. It's a $750 value free to you. It's an entire plan. It's a financial plan from start to finish, and that is the number to call here. You can call it 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let you call, even if it's 10 minutes afterwards, you can still keep on calling here to get entered in to win that. If you don't win, she's going to take $250 off for you, so that's $500. But we want everyone to call in and just get entered in to win this. I think everyone should have this. I mean, I believe it's so important for people who have procrastinated, who don't want to think about it. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone you know. Call in for them. 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. She has offices valley-wide, and you can call her direct. She does do consultations. The number to call is 602-430-4980. What would you recommend then? Let's talk a little bit about that. Would you recommend someone having a financial plan done? Sure. What would you recommend?
Yeah, we keep saying that the earlier that you can do it, the better, really. In your earlier years, your working years, it helps you to shape your spending habits. It helps to build your investment knowledge. And then as we develop in our mid-career age, now it's really helping to define our savings needs and our investment style. And then for those that, are nearing retirement, it clarifies for them that transition from saver to spender, which also, we're all told all through our lives to save, but very seldomly are people taught, well, once you retire, how are you going to spend? And there is a magic to that. There is a way to do that and be more successful. So yeah, that definitely is huge. But having it at at any age. Even if you're already into retirement, it's still not too late to have that information.
Do you do second opinions?
I do.
A lot of people have to have second opinions too.
Yes.
There's a second set of eyes for people looking at it. I think a lot of people definitely put these things off, especially if we're younger. We don't want to think about it. We don't even think we have to.
Yeah.
And even if you're in your 50s, sometimes people are not thinking about it, but it's very important. I think once people get married, they should have a financial plan.
Yes.
For sure. All right. Then if they have children, then for sure.
I would say that, the financial planning process, it can be scary for some people. And I've had people tell me that, it feels a lot like, trying to get your taxes done or trying to get a root canal. It's not a comforting feeling. There's a lot of fear that can go along with it. And, whether it's me or any other financial advisor, I always say make sure that you're with somebody that you can truly communicate well with, that you truly can be open and fully honest with. The more information that I have for my clients, the better I can serve them.
Well, it is all about getting to know you, and that was one of the reasons why we want you on the show today, so that you can, they can hear you. I think a lot of people out there do believe, too, that financial planning is for people with money.
Yeah.
And that's another myth. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that quite a bit, too, when people come, to see me for a consultation, and, they might say, I just need to know how to handle this part of my life. And in that conversation, I'll tell them, what is your financial plan? What are your ultimate goals for this? And how do I know how to help you if I don't have everything? And so in that, they'll say, I don't really have a whole lot of money, so I didn't think it was right, it was necessary for me. And that's just not true. Everybody should have a financial plan.
Well, we've got everybody entered in to win a free one, and it is from start to finish. It's a $750 value, free to you. We're going to talk about the three-part system again. So the number here to call is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can call her direct. She does do free consultations as well. The number is 602-430-4980. Call in here, get entered in to win. If you don't win, she's going to take $250 off right off the bat for you. But right now, she does want to enter everyone in to win, and I'm going to let you keep on calling here. 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Explain your three-part system again.
Certainly, yeah. In that first meeting, we'll be doing a lot of data gathering and answering questions, addressing concerns that you might have. And then, I take that information and really hone it in, and the computer software that I use, I do all of that data entry and review. And in our second meeting together, we will go through that data together. We will go through each of the parts and get an understanding of what that says, and then review the preliminary results. From there, we can make any small changes that maybe need to be made, and really get a clear picture of what you're looking at. How close are you to your goals? And then in that third meeting, we'll sit down, we'll go through the printed financial plan and discuss anything that might need to be implemented or changed.
Well, I'll tell you something again. I think it's really important for everybody to have. I know a lot of people tend to put this off, and we don't want to think about it, but it is so important. And everyone's getting entered in to win. This is a $750 value, free to you. The plan is from soup to nuts. It's from start to finish. Yeah. And she's also going to give, if you didn't win, the $250 off, so that would be $500 for it. But right now, we do want to keep on calling here, everybody. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. She has offices valley-wide, so she can help anyone from anywhere. Her phone number direct, she does consultations. The number is 602-430-4980. I think it's really important, though, for people to get on the if you're a little bit younger and you have a means of being able to put things away, and even if you're not, if you give way to save, that's important. That is the first step. And again, if you already have one, you might want to even have a second set of eyes. That's really important too. She does do second opinions. Again, we're going to keep on calling here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. The lines are going to keep on going here for the next 5 minutes or so. Get entered in to win. It's a $750 value free to you. It's a financial plan. That's a 3-part plan. It is from start to finish, and you're getting entered in to win for a free one. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. She's got offices valley-wide. She does consultations. The number is 602-430-4980.